Good evening, good morning, good night, whatever, what time you're watching this. It's another D20 Misfits episode, and I'm Viking. So, last week when we left off, chatting. Lots and lots of chatting. So, hopefully we'll see how tonight goes. So grab those drinks, grab those snacks, sit back for another misadventure with us, the D20 Misfits.
And tonight, let's see how this goes down. So last we left off, the party going into the clandestine cathedral of the gods, or of the gods of part of the party that was there. So going over the gods that were here, you have the Raven Queen, we have the Wild Mother, we have Palor, we have Bahamut, we have Torm and Tyr, and then we have Aaron Windstrom there, which is God of the Hunt. With all there, and they are questioning the party as far as whether or not they need to intervene and stop this, which could end one or two ways. They can come down with a complete second calamity and wipe the world clean with the bellows of hell falling.
Sorry.
Or they will stay neutral, indifferent, and not help the party for the final encounter. Or they can give boons, depending on how it is played. So we will see what happens tonight. As the talk comes in, knowing that within the ritual that Grievous is creating, that every personal, two of each party member, that is pretty much their mentors, their friends, some type of figures that has helped mold them on who they are now. Set foundations, morals, that stuff. Those people are being used for this ritual. Not everybody knows who's all there. So I believe we got... You guys know that Satori and Trent is there. We do know that Rue's one of them. And it is Fizbin and Sapphire. And we know that it is Fern and Lucy. That is there. But this is almost going to come to the final endings of this audit before the gods get tired and send you on your way. And you will be entering Exandria and your home. Maybe for the final time. Maybe for a time of new beginning. So let's dive in on tonight's episode of the D20 Misfits. Episode 187. So... let's see what happens tonight. And welcome back. So, I'm going to open the floor with you guys.
Please don't. The floor is not lava, sir. The floor open!
I am going to open the floor with
Sorry.
you guys. We were getting personal feelings of what you guys were thinking in that moment. And how you guys were feeling. But as what do you guys want to do anything specifically during this time? Some of you were questioning Zarkon with the whole thing, and I get that, but I would say I'm gonna say whoever is curious who's watching the gods, give me an insight roll.
I'm looking at the statues from the last I remember. Not roll for shiggles.
Apparently, I don't see shit because I'm still angry at what he said. I rolled 1. My insight's nothing. Well, that's an 11. You know, it's not my insight. Yeah. But still, it's a 1.
Mine was a 19. I rolled a 12.
Because I think that's the last thing that happened after all that.
28.
Okay.
Mine was 19.
Okay. So, what I'm gonna do is for this one.
That was insight, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
insight.
yeah, 19.
So I'm gonna say, with you, Lucy, what you're feeling in the moment. You can see the gods are not favoring anybody at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
They are staying neutral, but at the same time, some of them are starting to get frustrated because nothing's been said in action against Grievous whatsoever. With the 19 and 28, you're going to get a little more, John. For a 19, gods are all thinking. Some feel as if siblings are going to turn on each other if it comes down to it, and a calamity will happen. On top of that, the Raven Queen herself is very intrigued by this, how it is set up, how the ritual and the statues are lined up. It is all like, for her, that is striking so true, and she is very, what's the correct word to use? Is she is very
Inspired?
not inspired.
Intrigued?
Intrigues one.
Didn't you say she was a little bit regretful from last week?
Not regretful at all. I mean, she's intrigued. She's analyzing it with more intent than everybody else. Okay? That's the whole thing. That's the biggest thing, is how Grievous is doing this ritual. She's very intrigued by it, as if she's almost like in awe about it, like in self reflection about it. That's what you're pulling off, even though she wears that mask. Her intent and but when everybody's talking and you guys are talking as Darkline, she's analyzing the fuck out of this, and you could swear she went back and she's more in a relaxed state with like type ordeal. With the 28, you look at it and you can see Torm and Bahamut are straight locked, like this is not his fault, that Grievous is the enemy. Tyr, as part of the 3, is not seeing that. If this is truly an injustice based off what his brother has done, then by all means, Grievous is in full right to challenge. Being a favored son of Bahamut. While the other gods, based off everything that's been happening so far, there's been no intent of when everybody speaks that Grievous is doing it wrongly, or he's doing it out of self-gain for himself, because this is just it's not world-ending. He is targeting one person, so the gods are all seeing that the gods are saying that if this is an injustice based off Bahamut breaking his own code by protecting the weak and reforming evil, showing mercy to evil and reforming it, he failed on his favorite son. He didn't help him through. When he started helping him, he just backed off. So a lot of other gods are siding with staying neutral at the moment. And then some are getting frustrated. It's a mix between frustration and staying neutral, to where we have our answer. We are not going to intervene. If you guys want to do this, it is on you, on what happens. We are going to not interfere by any means. That is where they are at now. The only two that are hell-bent on this, on giving you boons or whatever to stop this, is going to be Torm and Bahamut, if you can get the collective together and have the same heart and ideal and moral about it. If that does not happen, the gods will remain neutral and you will receive no help, no boons. And that will help. That can hamper the party in general from that. You being close to, you know, talking to all the gods, you know how each one reacts, you know they do help out in times of need. But if they stay indifferent in this and give you straight up that this is your guys' own personal vengeance against him, they are going to not interfere, meaning certain spells can be gone, can be canceled out. Certain like abilities or powers from certain people will be completely canceled out to where they are inusable. So those along the lines are like divine intervention, wish, high tier stuff like that to beckon the gods to help will be canceled. It's going to be a complete and balanced fight, which you are going to receive no extra aid from. You guys are still going to have your powers and abilities that you have, but if somebody wanted to use divine intervention or a wish to change the cycle of the fight, the gods will cancel it out completely.
Gotcha.
That is if they stay completely neutral. And they are getting, you can tell right then and there, with that 28, close to nearing hitting an impossible stature of skill check. This is, they have one final round of questioning to give you guys if you guys are not going to engage them and talk and ask your own questions about this. You know, in your mind is like being a paladin, being a knight, especially for Bahamut. Something is in your mind, I guess, I'm going to say the biggest part is with the gods and with the party here talking about this ritual and everything, pretty much the gods giving you ammo for crucifying him, in lack of better terms. He's still not defending himself. Like, if this was true in any of this, based off Bahamut's own tenets, is to reform evil for one and show mercy. Why isn't that mercy being here, and why isn't Grievous here as a mercy to defend himself, when the only person sort of defending him is Archon himself? I think that's where the one sides come in your mind, being a full follower of Bahamut, following him true, even with Torm, with justice. There is no justice in Grievous at this moment that is going in your head, because he's not here to defend himself.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest thing that's in the back of your mind brewing. There's no mercy in this. There's no justice. Why, if this was the case and they were doing this audit about him, why isn't he here to defend himself? So, that's what you get as inside lies. So, before the last round of questions go out to you guys, I'm opening the floor to the players on whether or not they want to ask anything to the gods, not Zarkon, to the gods. You can question Zarkon there, but you know your time with gods is very limited. Okay, Raya.
I've been waiting to ask this stuff since last week.
Right at it. I'm listening.
So, after seeing everything going on, there's things brewing through Ryu's head, but these questions are the first ones that come to his mind. So the first one he's looking at is the Raven Queen. First thing out of his mouth, asking her, or if you had the scroll the entire time that had the ritual, how to do it, what needed to be done, how did Grievous understand how to do it after Lucy's wish? Then the other question is, if it was successful, why did you need to keep it? There's something you're not telling us?
Okay.
Like,
Why not cast
being
all
that-
knowledge of it out of the world, given that she had the opportunity to do it?
Are
exactly.
you following up with that?
Kind of, it was more thinking out loud. If he's asking that question, she's gonna kind of
Are
think.
you acting out? Are you talking
That's
about
what
that?
I was
Are
gonna
you
say.
Yeah,
adding on?
that's verbally yes.
Okay. So, we'll go with the first question. And that is about the scroll and how the Grievous find out.
Exactly.
Okay. And why'd you keep it was the second one,
Yeah.
if it was done. So, the answer is going to be the same for both. To the Raven Queen, she will answer this. This ritual, for one, was not of my making to begin with. I took it. I reshaped it. When I was mortal, I was a powerful sorceress. Just like the evil one before me. The Lich is the first to do this. So that was his to begin with. I found it. And I used it on myself to go and harvest all those souls to do it because I was high and mighty. I was up there with the greats. He can tell you, as he looks to her brother Bahamut, Fizbin, Tasha, Mordekainen, myself, all part of the 12 that stopped Vectin to begin with. Mortally, that is what I did. If he can become a god, cool. I understand that. I did the exact same thing, but with my power, a certain god was looking at me because my specialty was necromancy. And the Lord of Death found me very interesting and courted me, in lack of better terms, but forcefully. I was a sort of arranged bride-to-be because of my power and the death that I can bring was bringing him happy, so he snatched me up, took me to the to the Shadowfell, to the realm of death. There I laid as prisoner and his wife-to-be. Down those roads, I fell in love with him. We did marry. And I was still mortal. But I did see that the god of death was originally, he was doing stuff more tyrannically than anything. And I felt that was unjust. So I snuck out. I found that ritual to begin with. Vecna's own out of his own book. Analyzed it and repurposed it to fit the needs that I needed to. Being in the Shadowfell, bringing all this energy up, my skin started to turn dark. And more of that gray purple scale at the Shadowfell itself. Meaning she was becoming the first Shadow Kai. I went to my village. And I asked them for the help. And the whole village agreed to let me rule. And I would take them into me and repurpose the god of death. And it worked, and you see where I'm at now. But to answer that question fully, when I ascended, my first order of business was to scratch that ritual and all knowledge of it from the world. So speaking to my newfound sister, Ioun, the all-knowing mistress, I wiped it clean. And no recollection of this ritual ever existed besides me and the one who created it. So I kept it just as a reflection for myself that a mortal can rise beyond their station. Because every mortal being in this realm dies at different times. Elves live longer, dwarves can live longer, dragonborns can live longer. Every race has different lifespans. Some try to achieve greatness and want to be somebody of worth. So that is just a simple reflection that I came from a mortal standpoint to be a goddess. So it is a moral reflection for myself that one can achieve greatness through means. And even if I strip it from the world, the Lord of Secrets, the one who created it, will still have knowledge of that. So he could have put a little bird to one's ear, so to speak, and tell of where set item could be. Because it is a secret, and now that it is known by another, so three know of its thing, including, well, now more, including you guys, is now that his secret is known to you, so it has less power of knowing it. And if you spread that, what's going to not stop another mage or somebody with the arcane talent to pull something of this off?
That leads me to the follow-up question. And this is for everyone. Who's to say a Grievous doesn't have someone else lined up to replace all of you?
They all look at each other. I think Pelor would go to look down and shine his light towards you. If he's after the sun, he can damn well try, because he will burn in my radiance. I have helped destroy my brother and send him to the hells where he belongs. But Grievous never followed me. So why would he reach for my light?
Not necessarily Grievous.
Why would he irk somebody in my place? If he wanted to reform the whole gods, then this ritual would mean nothing. He'd be making a weapon. And one is known. One was used. And it was destroyed. And that's why we have 2 moons in Exandria. The red moon, Rudelis, is not a moon. It is a prison. And that's what Eowyn tried to do. They were feeding the earth to create, to power up the landlines, as it were, and to move them within certain points around the world. Meaning certain solstices, the landlines intersect completely, and a well or font of magic can make all magic heightened or go wild. And if that moon was breached and unlocked, if that prison door opened and that moon shattered, Well then, that means that the God Eater would take us and kill us all, and there's nobody that stops him.
Again, just a mere question, but do you see my point with this?
We do. But I don't think he would come because the ritual was not set up for this. Based off our sister's thing is to target one specific person as Rite of Ascension based off that ritual spell.
What I was saying is, what if he found on someone he thought, you know what, you'd look good as...
But still, that would have to be someone of you who wants to challenge Aaron.
Correct. But
You would have to do the right, you would have to form the ingredients and stuff like that. Yes, he could be your benefactor, but you would still have to do the ritual itself. The ritual right now is only designed to take out him.
What if once he ascends, who he helps take over is one that doesn't need to complete the rite?
What do you mean?
The Raven Queen just said it herself. There was only 3 people that knew of that rite. The one who created it, her, and him. So if she didn't willingly give him the information, where did he get it from?
Where Grievous got it from? Well, if the Raven Queen didn't give it to him, then there's only one other person who gave him that ritual or the thought of it.
One who has a distaste for the rest of you.
Doesn't have a distaste. Secrets are his thing. He is a lich. Some of us do not agree with this, and that is why he's inside the betrayer side faction. He is not one of the prime deities that rule the world right now, or oversee it.
And yet he's now primed to take one of the greatest power sources in the astral sea.
That is his right. Grievous found so far with everything that's conspired so far. This is a sole injustice towards Bahamut. His favorite son cast aside. I mean, how would that be to a toy maker?
But Bahamut didn't cast him aside.
Did he not answer his prayers and bring back his friends? His comrades that were slain by that fiend?
But that's not within Bahamut's grace to do.
Why not? I will reward my champion with beyond powers of their normal capabilities if they provided me a great service, and I will reward them with such things.
Is there a way to share memories, like, with the collective? Because they'd asked for evidence. Her memory is, she has 2 different memories of that one event that set Grievous off.
Okay.
So she has the memory of when we did the light versus dark power struggle.
Mm-hmm.
She saw what happened through Grievous's eyes. And Bahamut answered him. Bahamut brought him back from what would be a mortal, deadly wound. Bahamut answered him. He just didn't answer the particular resurrection portion of that process. But also at the same time, being as we were all collectively in the other people's body, we know whether or not we were alive or dead at the time. And I have both sides of that encounter. As their healer, and as Grievous Satori.
Okay.
So I see it from his side and from hers. Where she wasn't dead yet. If any of them had had health potions, and he had done medicine checks or health potions on any of them, granted they did have mortal wounds, but they could have brought him up to like a 1 to then heal everyone else. So no one had to die, perchance. They could have all been saved. But also at the same time, after the instance, stayed up there for centuries. Or not centuries, decades. He stayed up there for decades on the site of his greatest, what he considers his greatest failure. He
Was that on the level?
He could have at any point found someone who does resurrections. We have resurrection spells. There are items that resurrect. If he really truly wanted to bring his friends back, he had the ability to do it. And technically, resurrection is outside of Bahamut's wheelhouse, especially if those people that have died honorable deaths toward fighting evil. If they all died warriors' deaths, it's not necessary within his grace to take that would-be honor away from them by healing them. But also, it was within Grievous's power himself to heal them. He could, there were, logically, if she's thinking about it, she's like, well, I've seen both sides of this. There were things you could have done, even tapped on spells, that could have prevented this situation.
I will say above table, we also heard that he was spent. He couldn't go heal.
Yes, but, I mean, you have to think, these are seasoned adventurers.
No, I was saying the part where he could have just been like, heal. Like, because you were like, he could have just healed them. It's like, above table, we heard that he couldn't. He was tapped.
Magically tapped. He was magically tapped. But that's not to say there weren't physical items. And he, being as long as he was in his party, would know what their inventory was.
Unless they didn't have potions.
It would really, but I mean, it also depends on situation. He's also someone with spells that renew faster. So in theory, he could have rested, and then that's why I was like, potentially there were ways to get around their deaths. But if death is what they were meant for, if death was their fate, Bahamut it's not really in his specific power to take away an honorable death.
No, I get that
from these people.
That's what I said above table.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just remember, like, whenever you were like, he could have been like, bam, I was like, he was spent, but like, by the time, like, again, above table.
Yeah.
If he would have been like, long rest, okay, I'll bring you back, long rest, I'll bring you back. Like, by the time, even if he would like long rest and is like heal, it's potential that he might be able to heal a few, and then like he'd be tapped again. But that's sorry.
Well, I mean, I was playing the healer whenever we had that. Even if he had just healed her, she had mass healing effects, and she wasn't tapped on spells. Oh. She was just dead.
With you sharing this information and the memory of it, even you talking about it, the memory comes up. And to side note on that, when you were walking through pretty much the Rosen Bridge,
mm-hmm.
you did see that orphanage being teared down in destruction, but it never showed if he slew the two of you.
Gotcha.
So there is no way of knowing.
Okay, because I was
were
gonna
ever slain.
I'll text you.
In that, to me, that I would say that is you guys' thing. If you guys should think that one, no, yeah, when you guys were going through the Rosen Bridge, how I described that there were realms that opened up to you, that you saw the destruction of Grievous along the way, pretty much taking everybody. One was that orphanage. that Tristana, or not Tristana, that Navarre and Yer were there, and you saw it being burned to the ground.
So it's like,
But it
it's
never
that real
showed
time thing.
if Grievous actually slew you guys at all. My personal thing would be Yerrick probably was probably fighting him to stop that from happening. Whether or not what happened,
Actually happened.
I'm gonna leave it up to you guys on whether or not if both or one survived at all.
Okay.
Or if they both survived, cool.
Is that a roll?
That's up to you two.
That,
But
that's a husband-wife discussion.
It's not husband wife. That's player. Is what you guys want.
I was joking, Frank.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If both, everybody wants their past characters to survive, to show up in a cameo somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
I understand that fully. But
Well, Garrett keeps getting yoinked.
you tell
Anyway.
me what you would feel at that moment. If you think that your past characters would have survived or not. They were part of this campaign, so whether or not they survived is completely only up to you. But after you're doing all that, and you can see that when you're doing it and talking about it, like
There's two different bubbles of the same incident happening from different sides.
Right. It's like two projections come out of your mind and show this all happening as you're explaining it to give that visual that it is a truth. And with that being said, Tyr, God of Truth, with this whole ordeal, stands up. Goes, well, where's the truth of the healer you saw through her eyes? How come she didn't heal anybody? How come she didn't resurrect anybody?
She was
In
done
my mind,
first.
what did she not do to protect herself? There are ways to stave off death preemptively. Death ward is one of them.
Did she have that as a spell? As I said, it's been a long time since I even looked at that character. I don't remember what she was and wasn't capable of, and we were also doing we're fitting what the narrative is, not necessarily what she could have.
It's not that. I mean, I did tell you guys the characters. They were pre-generated to use, but I did say you guys can change spells around. So whatever you put on there is not my doing.
Okay.
But I can recall, yes, she died first, but where was her as being the healer of the party? How come she wasn't protecting herself with spells like Death Ward? And why didn't she make sure that she did not go down first? Where's that truth? And in truth-wise, if I had a champion who fell going against a great evil, and I had him come back with the aid of a magical item that he had, revitalized him, and let him go full force, and my only command was take out this evil. And if he expended all of his power to smite him, leaving him exhausted, I'm not going to revitalize him. I already gave my power into him. I could have, in balance, because he went up against and destroyed it. Me personally, if a great champion did that in my great service, I would reward him with a wish. But my brother did not.
Wouldn't that be also stepping on the toes of another god? As Ryu turns and looks at the Raven Queen.
Not necessarily. Magic is magic. All forms, all schools, besides the ones that are dealt with prayer. Those ones are learned or are inert within one's body. It's all about your limitations, as it were. what your body can do on its own. So who am I to do that? Yes, I will reward my champion, me personally, but with her as the Raven, as the Fate Stitcher, but there are others who have the power to stitch fate. Many archfays and archdemons can do that. They are powerful enough to alter a fate in a favor. Some hags are very good at that. So, Fate, as he gestures towards the Raven Queen, the Raven King looks up. Even I cannot mess with fate. I can see it unfold, and I can guide the tapestry or the thread to a certain degree. I cannot fully alter it, but I can guide it to a certain point. But I cannot cut or repurpose a thread. So Grievous' tapestry is as it is fated for him. As the stars and as the universe, the cosmos, whatever you want to call it, higher beings than us. Bring it. We are not in there. We have a creator ourselves. We are not made. We weren't made in the beginning of time, in the dark, and made this universe. There are beings older than us that shape the world, and those are the primordials. So we know only one still stands, and it is imprisoned within that moon.
I wasn't referring to Grievous, I was referring to his friends.
Why didn't the healer heal them? I don't think Grievous is going to reward some and set up other people to take our spots. I don't see that. This is a complete injustice, and based off what I have personally seen already. And you can tell when he is looking, when Tyr is looking, I mean, he has no eyes. He's bandaged. He can't see completely. But he looks at you with so much intent that the scales are balanced. This is an injustice based off a father to son scenario. If I pedigreed a son and helped guide his thread to a location or to a point in time to get him where I think he should be, what he does with it is out of my doing. It's out of all of our doings. But if the healer there was not properly prepared to stave off her own death, how can one single person do that when their specialist of healing companion perished quickly? And where was everybody else?
Well,
certain rangers have powers of healing.
She didn't die first? Well, okay.
That's his point.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the
One
thing.
was literally struck and dumb.
Yes.
He was dumbstruck.
And that, I think, is who she was with. We were all kind of separated, and a lot of what she has distance-wise wasn't gonna work, but she was also trying to keep the people around her alive while also still being attacked. But she also, I don't remember where full spell list is. She might not have had, like, Death Ward or anything like that. But she was on saves when we finished the memory. She wasn't, like, she was at 0. She wasn't dead yet.
Or would he be repurposed? Side note,
Head answer.
because of, you know, the side conversation that's happening off screen, off camera. What did she specialize in? What was?
Laura?
Yeah. What was? She wanted to be a reader, correct?
Oh yeah, she had finger of friggin' death, man.
It's not just that. She specialized in necromancy.
Mm-hmm. She brought up her own little army.
Did you discuss that? That should happen?
Mm-hmm.
My question is, would she, being a mage of necromancy, repurposed him and brought him back as an undead?
Ooh.
I mean, she's able to revive him. She had the ability just to revive him. But she's done that before. Her understanding, like she said...
My thing is, okay, being a necromancer's stereotypical of its own right.
Oh, yeah.
Being back from the dead. Would she pull that off like a Baldur's Gate type scenario? And he be undead under the control of her as a puppet? Or being in Barovia, would she not save him by granting him immortality? And the only immortality Nivera knew at that point in time was a vampire.
That's possible.
Would she sanction?
Oh my god. No, don't give him vampire powers
Vampire.
too.
Would she of
What in the underworld is happening
went
here?
out of desperation to the temple that Sibinak guarded to plead to Vampire
Oh my god.
to
Oh,
make
no.
you a
No,
vampire.
no.
No, we sealed that
Poor
bastard.
Garrick.
You sealed him, yes.
The new straw.
You don't have to break him. You can communicate. You knew that. So that's my question. Going deep dive into it. Me being DM as far as story
That's you.
would Nivera see that as an opportunity
Oh boy.
to turn him into the one thing he hunted?
Don't... Out of rage, but understanding
I would say out of
her
desperation,
tenets.
knowing that your son is taken, and
I-
serve a higher purpose, would she not want him to be immortal too? That way she'd already lost one. You lost an offspring. Did you want to lose the husband as well? Or would you want to be with him and grant him immortality?
My thing is also they probably would have had a discussion about what happens if one of them passes.
Well, okay.
That's what I'm
As
asking
a
you guys as a
partner?
side
Well,
note.
if you remember, you gave them the longevity. They both would live for 150 years.
How long y'all got?
That's a lot of time
Yeah,
to
figure out.
plead because it was out.
Mm-hmm.
You guys could have plane hopped to find it because Sibnak was there. Being a mage, knowing locations, and communication outside of realms, you could have contacted him to meet. You could have interrogated any of the forgotten gods to plead with that.
Honestly, if she would have pled with any of the gods, being that would...
That's between you two.
You want me to, like, do, like...
You think of that of what you guys truly think. You two discuss that.
I also want to posit when we found you on the train, we had just picked you up out of Valhalla.
I wasn't on the
It
train.
wasn't... no.
Yeah.
No.
The first time.
Okay, no. It wasn't on the train. We weren't on a train having this. We were in a different
We were in
thing outside
Barovia
of the
when you
town.
here.
No.
Okay. Hold up. I know what she's talking about. This is the mine battle between
Oh,
Joey
yeah.
and there. You popped up and attacked, and Nivera was like,
You were literally drunk off your butt coming from Valhalla.
and you struck.
No.
Garrett struck at Grievous, I believe it was, or someone. You attacked and you shouldn't have attacked when there was the mine fight. And Nivera said, I'm sorry, and went finger of death.
Damn.
I don't remember that.
I do.
Okay, so I just rewatched that episode today
Okay.
because that was what I wanted to go look
We weren't
at. So
technically on the train. We were in a different bubble from the train.
well, no, we were still physically on the train at that point.
You were physically
Mentally.
on the train. Mentally, you guys were at. You guys were in that realm of gods.
We were in a subspace
Right.
because
Because that was the book.
Okay.
That opened that gate up to where you guys talked to Grievous in the first book of Grievous and
Yeah,
tried to get him
okay.
to change that side, and you guys succeeded last time I checked.
Yes.
On turning him, on seeing the error of his way.
and instead of changing him to have that internal struggle, what you then did was had us free Balverix.
So,
Technically, were you gone after that, or did you get brought back?
okay, can you
No,
give me,
he tanked that shit.
After you got fingered in?
Yeah.
give me an insight roll with advantage,
Okay.
please?
While I wait for...
Ooh,
Good one.
I like that. So that's gonna be 21.
Okay, and then I need somebody at this table to
Not
roll
Viking.
me to roll me a d6. We're gonna say 5 and 6. You don't want to have anything below a 3. This is a luck roll. Okay. Thinking back on this, coming to that senses, and looking at the realization of what happens as far as timeline goes. You guys did that. You saw through his eyes within that book, and then you did a contest of wills after you finished it because you tried to pull him in. The light bulb clicks. That lightning bolt strikes you so true, to where I would say Amari not drops, but jaw drops and goes, "Oh my God, did we start this?" You changed him to good, so that his mind, out of that, self-reflect to see, going back and reanalyzing that fight. Why did Bahamut help? Did we, as a new group, start Grievous on this path? Because you gave him the clear mind of the fight, instead of the battle of emotion, because his comrades and his close friends, his only friends, perished. Did you give him that light to reanalyze that as a trained fighter? To go, that only factor, if Bahamut would have answered my call, this wouldn't be here.
Well, that's the thing, is Bahamut did answer his call
Did he?
the first time.
He brought him back,
Yes.
but not, but you
But-
don't know Bahamut's command when he brought him back.
I was... No, I was in his head. I heard that part.
Well, if he
When... I
to
heard
rise
him...
up and
yes.
strike him down.
Yes.
That was it.
Yes.
He didn't say reserve your power to make sure your friends are alive too.
No. But also at the same time, he still had another companion. The other companion got cocky. And that's why he got throat squished. Which is a lovely visualization. So, he could have prevented that other one from dying, to be fair. And
But if your god gave you strict orders to strike that evil down,
yeah,
and that's what he did by any means.
yes. But I also wouldn't have let my friend get in the way of that. Especially if I know that that evil was also still a threat. Especially to somebody
with the
who's,
tw-
no offense, was very crippled.
With the 21, self-reflect.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main question that pops in your head is, did you guys start him down this path by showing him that light? That it could have helped. Because here's the other follow-up to that. Were you not devout to your father? The king? Would you not devout to him? Did you not always follow his orders to a T without second guessing him?
Not always, especially given the later
Would you do
aspect of it.
I mean, no. I mean, honestly,
you could kind of tell he was compromised a little bit toward the end. So
that was toward the end. Yeah, but most of your life, did you follow every single order your father gave you to the letter, without second guessing him, or questioning him, or rebelling against him in any way, shape, or form?
I would say yes for the most part.
You would have rebelled.
It depends. Because if what he asked didn't fit in with orders she was given, because she didn't always receive orders from him, if what he said didn't fit with orders, she would have been more prone to following orders. If the order says, get them out, and he says...
Take it from a soldier aspect, because you used the term that you were a soldier at one time. Did you not follow your commander's orders? Did you ever second guess that in battle as you watched the realms against threats that would hurt or hamper the mortal realm? Did you ever question any of his orders he was ever given? Even if you were in high standard, you still have to answer to a higher order.
She would have questioned it internally. She might not have done anything against it, but that doesn't mean that. So
that's the point.
Yeah.
Because you still followed orders given and didn't second guess him. With that insight roll, based off what happened within the first book and you guys reaching out to Grievous in that mental aspect of communication, in my way of thinking it, narratively, you could have gave him the tools. I'm not saying you did, but you could have opened that door and gave that light to him to clear that mind of, instead of letting blind emotional rage kick over, of following an order so blindly to defeat. If my God gave me the powers and said to crush my enemy, and that was the only order, me being a devout son and soldier, I'm going to follow that order. He did not say use that. To use that power given, that revitalization, to use some of it to keep your friends alive. His only order that you remember from Bahamut to Grievous when he resurrected him was strike him down. Strike your foe down.
Yeah.
As a soldier, from looking at it from a soldier standpoint, if that's the order, that is the only thing that matters. If I'm a devout follower,
yeah,
I'm going to follow that and not use it anyway else.
Okay.
So, that is my way of thinking. That's how I think Amari is getting that realization that did we put him on this path? That's the question I think it's burning in your head with that.
Well, there's that, and then there's okay, if what he's trying to do, see, the whole conquest thing doesn't make sense to her about Grievous.
Grievous is not a conquest.
That's what I mean. So him going into Lucy's world and then taking over doesn't make sense.
It's not conquest, it's vengeance. And that's strictly within the Oath of Paladin that he was.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not the Oath of Vengeance.
Huh?
I wouldn't even follow the tenets of the Oath of Vengeance, so...
Or glory. But still, he was a devotee to Bahamut.
Yeah.
If that order was to strike his foe, and if he brought him back, it is to use that power to strike him, and not use that power for anything else. That's what he exhausted his power on.
Yes. But then that makes even less sense why he would blame Bahamut for that if Bahamut gave him the power to strike down the enemy.
If he gave him
He
the power,
never said anything about healing anybody else. He never said any. But I mean, we've discussed it at length before. But like, it's like, okay, he said, "Hey, do this," which is what he did. But where does that go? Like, that's what I mean. Is if those people were fated to have honorable deaths, who is Bahamut to take away that what he would see as an honor from them?
that's the same thing that the Raven Queen mentioned to Raya. When Raya posed that question, and you followed up with it. The threads of fate can be guided, not altered. The Raven Queen, being a goddess of death and fate, cannot intervene with fate itself because there are beings older than her and more supreme that has that control.
Yeah.
And there are other people, as she mentioned, archfiends and archfae, that can do the exact same thing she can do.
Yeah. Rationally thinking, she doesn't understand why Bahamut is being blamed for that, if that was something that could have either been out of his control.
Bahamut opened the door to revitalize him and gave his soldier a order. He followed it.
Yeah.
To the letter.
But if they
why
both
couldn't-
exhausted themselves, if he exhausted himself bringing him back, and then once brought back, he exhausted himself defeating the enemy, why is he blaming Bahamut when Bahamut helped him?
I don't see that. I thought that would be a reward. You followed my instructions and you defeated the enemy. That was it. That's why I brought you back.
Yeah. In theory, wouldn't Bahamut see his life being brought back be the reward? Because he could have just let him die.
That was the original thing. He wanted to save his friends. It's because Bahamut hesitated and didn't grant him that power right away. It took too long for the regeneration to happen. He could happen in an instant, but it took a round or two for that to happen. By that time, the rest of the party died. Why didn't Bahamut protect them in that process or speed up that healing process to get them up quickly? So I think that's why with that insight, it is, that's the question that is there. I'm not saying you guys did it.
Yeah.
I'm saying that is the question. You guys could have started him on this path of vengeance towards Bahamut because he saw the light. Because you opened his eyes to the light, and that is second guessing himself at that moment, the new revelation. That's the main question that I think is, oh my god, did we send him down here? I get that, but a vampire is not a predator. It's beasts. Aaron Lindstrom, god of the hunt, is to beasts because his twin is the beast master. It is to beasts. Vampires are not beasts, nor werewolves. That's why I say the god of the hunt thing, because that's not what that is.
So not the hunt in general. It's the hunt and predators being of the hunt.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Technically, vampires would be considered predators.
They're not considered beasts, which is what he is after.
Aren't they more like monstrosities? Which would not technically...
That follows more on the lines of Pelor or Bahamut being the utmost against evil because of their twins.
Okay.
Of their
I would
sisters.
say more Peddler because of the wife.
That's what I would say to that. It wouldn't be he be a follower of Aaron, because that is like a hunter of beasts, not of like, you know, that would be the great evil, and that would be more towards either Pelor or Bahamut. Bahamut with his sister, nothing but pure evil, and he's pure good. That's the ultimate battle of good and evil.
Yeah.
Same with Pelor. He's the god of the sun. That is it. He brings the light. Without him, there is no next day.
Right.
It is eternal night. And that is where the Moonweaver and Dreamweaver would rule the world more so, and not these three in front of you. So that's what I would go more on either, like I would go more Palor's side than anything, being of the light. It's not so much of life or renewal, but that's what the sun is. The sun is the renewal of a new day. That's the philosophy behind it, yes.
Okay.
So.
And Palor himself is usually more actively seek out and like
Palor's always
and suffering.
Palor's always depicted in golden armor with a golden maul or mace and shield. He is the full tilt warrior versus Bahamut, which is more disguised as a old man mage. He doesn't hide the armor or that. He's a mage. He doesn't wear armor. Pelor is always depicted being in golden armor with shield and mace. And I mean, like, he's head to toe fully, besides his head. Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good depiction. But no. Because he does exist as well.
I know.
But yeah, back on track. That's, I think, the main thing is because you showed Grievous that light. That's what it is. Is could we have set him on this path to begin with? Showing him that light. Because you talked to the first book self, not the endgame self.
Yeah.
So you could have set him on this path.
Well,
because
I
you
thought
pulled him from that memory.
Oh, I thought it was him overall because he showed up.
You pulled him from that book.
Okay.
So that could have started him down that path between the second book and the third book, and you haven't fully read into those books yet to determine whether or not that happened.
Okay. Yeah, because you were just like, oh, hey, he kind of pops up out of nowhere, and I was like, okay.
You summoned
and then
him
he
from
was
that
like,
book.
give me the books, and we're like,
Nope.
we kind of need these.
You summoned him from the book, from the first book.
Okay.
So.
I'm just drinking it in over here and just like the.
Lucy's trying not to have an external panic attack. She's trying to keep it internal.
There's just a lot going on after, like I said. That's why, like, with Ryu being upset with her, because hearing what the Wild Mother had said and putting that into perspective to understand, and what's being said now to understand that, what Zarkon had said, it's all about not only what she's tried her hardest from day one to take in the lessons she's learned from her father, her mentors that she's followed with.
Separately, how is... Oh, sorry. You're good. Sorry. Go ahead.
You're good.
Sorry, I ADHD. Roll bad.
But she
I got a question
is
for her.
delving with all of this. And the more, as she mentioned before, to try not to fully just... She saw what happened when the rage comes out. And how if her emotions are too strong on one way or the one spectrum or the other, bad things happen. So whenever she's trying to do her best to just let everything like puzzle piece in her head, she's trying to calculate more, and that's why she's just like taking it in and just like, oh shit, oh crap, and it's like it's piecing together in her head like a puzzle. That's why when she's saying it, it sounds different than what she would say, because perhaps in her head she's putting pieces together that are now making more sense, and it's like, even if it upsets her, this makes sense. I may have fucked up before, but now if I do this, is this better from what I've seen, what I've heard, what I've had the visions of? Things are slowly like, instead they're clicking together.
Gotcha.
And that's why she's quiet and she's analyzing what they're saying, what's going on here, what they're saying. She's quietly calculating, as she's been told to do, even with hunting and everything else. Calculate before you do. Don't just bam. Don't act before you think.
Very much.
Where's your line at? With all this happening and everything else, is Belveric's more siding and wanting to protect Bahamut, and you going more strongly along the lines of Paladin versus Knight?
Okay, so the tenets of Oath of Conquest. If there is someone stronger than me, I must become stronger than them.
Yeah.
He's like, hang on. We'll get you there.
This entire time as they've been talking, his eyes have been focused on Bahamut.
Because he's feeble looking right now.
Wrong.
Oh.
You're a charlatan. You speak of balance. You speak of justice. Where is the justice? We're all talking about one man. Yet he is not here to defend himself. Does that not go against your own beliefs that there should be balance and justice?
Snap back to reality. She's like, whoa, clocking it.
A quick head turn.
Also, real quick, Zarkon is seeing, or saw, what her memories were of the event. And before, he was like, oh, well, I was in his brain, I know what happened. Is what she is projected different from what he's seen?
No.
Okay, it's the same exact thing? Okay. Because I was like, if those projections are different from what he now knows or what he's seen, how's that going to change
Right. No.
his perceptions?
What you spoke and the visions there with the book go hand in hand in.
Okay.
It's just you guys don't know that knowledge because you guys haven't gone those far into the other two books. Am I showing a sign of defiance?
Before this, real quick. Okay. So before he did the whole thing,
Yeah.
so I didn't want to interrupt because there was like a lot of information being spewed. Bones is just like by the statues, confused as fuck. It's like she understands the whole like Fern's dead. It's you know. She's confused.
Why is Lucy there?
Yeah, she's confused about Lucy one.
Because
I understand.
You see half the
Bones doesn't.
statue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's just confused, and then he does this thing, and then like
It's the
snaps out of it.
We're all
That's the
standing
thing.
him.
Well, no, that's the standpoint because you guys are not asking those direct questions.
Yeah.
You have that ability to do so. That's why I opened the floor with you to begin with before these final round of questions. With that's what Bahamut is sensing. Am I sensing defiance?
There are three of you. Truth must be spoken, yes?
Correct.
Where is his truth?
They're in the books as I read, as from Tyr explaining that he has read in front of you.
Words written on pages, yes.
They are the truth. Because they are his proclamations, his gospels.
But should they not come from his mouth as well?
Are you proposing that idea?
Yes.
That question's still out in the air too, from Bahamut. Do I sense defiance?
In some aspect, yes.
Did I not give you an order? Have you not followed every single one I've done? And now you are given free will to question, and this is how I'm repaid. With giving you the knowledge for showing the pilgrimage to change your scales to mine. Being the first. Now, being one of my favorite sons. Being my left hand! You show defiance.
Is that not what the way of a dragon is?
That is the sign of a greedy dragon who wants a horde.
And yet I have given up everything.
Are you still defying me because you brought him out? because you want him to come forth.
I'm following your tenets of balance and justice. We have all spoken on the topic at hand, but we have not heard the other side of the coin.
Fair point, as Tyr replies. But I'm going to answer you this. Malvarix, you are a paragon, talking favored with all the gods. A herald to most. But you became the left hand of the dragon. If Grievous successfully harvests Bahamut, the Platinum Throne still remains, which is where the tenets lie. The person sitting on it will change, but the law remains, but the voices of that of Grievous. So my question, for truth, as a paladin of justice, does your oath belong to the dragon, or does it belong to the office? If Grievous proves he is more capable of enforcing the law than Bahamut, then by your own code, is he the legitimate successor? Why is tradition, Bahamut, more than just the competent Grievous? Give us the legal basis for your rebellion against a more efficient god.
You.
Meaning,
No,
oath.
I get what you're saying.
your oath is to the throne,
I get
regardless
what,
of who
as
sits in it.
as a player, I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
As a character,
No.
he's not book smart.
Okay.
He ain't
Hold
A
on.
little bit.
Hold on, why are you seeing that?
he's a walk tall, carry a big stick kind of man.
No, he's smart, but he's not like
Wisdom wise, he's good. Intelligence,
he's average intelligence.
But that's the thing. Meaning, your oath is to the throne, like a king. And what oath you give is to the throne, not the person sitting in it.
I don't know about that because of his bond.
That's why that's why he asked you that question.
My loyalty to my sovereign is unwavering. Yet personality trait, my favor once lost is lost forever.
oh, boy.
Conflicting.
Well, I know, but here's the other part to that. Based off this, as I wrote it down, it's like the council. This is the gods asking you this question, but the main focus is the sovereignty of the throne. It is the seat that holds those laws and tenets. It is the throne of law.
And I just went,
Okay.
So,
Okay.
with that, you pledged your oath. You pledged your oath to the ideals and tenets followed by the person who gave them, which is Bahamut. But Bahamut set those laws. So are you following the laws?
I can answer this.
Okay.
You did clarify it for me, but I can now answer this as Balvarix.
Okay.
Having grown up with the silver spoon, it is not always the son that takes the throne, but the advisor that is more competent in the duties of the kingdom. Grievous may be the son, but is he competent enough to sit on that throne, to hold the tenets that it represents on track, that balance and justice is fair and not blinded by truth? The way I see it, I have given up everything. He has been forced to lose it by the hand fate has dealt him. I have given it up willingly. He sought out to become a dragon himself. I already had the scales. I was guided to it. So my question back to you, should the sun take the throne, or should the right hand take the throne?
That kind of leads into the question I was going to ask Muhammad.
Well, like you said, we should hear it from the dragon's own mouth. Because based on the books that I've read and the knowledge that I already know, is he not the right hand to begin with? Was he at one point? Because he was, like you, the right and left hand. He just had more years on you.
Or his symbol is of 3 swords.
Yes.
What if we each are one of the swords?
Meaning who? Us.
Metaphorically, the wings of Bahamut.
Bahamut only has 2 great wings.
A
You know.
left and a right.
Yes.
He considers his swords his wings.
Yes.
What if he is one wing and I am the other? 2 sides of the same coin, one individual separated.
Well,
Satori's part of that. 3 swords. All one individual.
are you saying that that's what you are? Are you a part of him?
I question. After hearing everything, I question. Am I somehow a part of him? Or is he a prior version of myself? I have learned through the ages that I have spent with imprisonment with my previous party. The glory, the best way I can put it for lack of a better term, going through defeating Acererak, striking down Archon, the champion of Tiamat. So many things that I and those that were with me have done. But in a time of need, they left me. Like he was left. So, are we not the same person?
The question is, are you, in life and in death, the exact same half? And it's not Satori that is him,
It's me.
but you and him are the good side of Grievous, indefinitely.
Very well could be.
She's gonna kind of say this kind of offhandedly. Does that not mean that they could be fused? Because she's thinking about the ritual, and if he's using these other people as sacrifices to fuse him to become one being, what's to say Balverix, Satori, and Grievous couldn't merge to become this god?
If he is, in lack of better terms, a Horcrux to Grievous.
Essentially, yeah.
Yes. Is
Could-
he that? We don't know that because you need to hear it from the dragon's mouth.
Okay.
And if that's the choice that you are making and stating,
To uphold the tenets of the 3 of you, yes, that is my choice.
well, that is a wise choice, and that is a good truth to know, knowing the other side. Why not?
Okay. I was also
I
gonna
want
say.
Satori as well.
I was going to kind of say before you said this was a trial, but a trial is used to determine the innocence or guiltiness of someone.
That's not the trial he speaks of.
Okay.
This is
Speaking of a
our
different-
trial.
It's been more of a tribunal than a trial.
No, it's a trial.
If we
It's a
if we
trial
bring
works.
in Grievous and Centauri, we could technically have an actual trial. Not by combat. Just stating that, because every single time,
But with
literally every time something happens, they're like, "We're doing trial by combat." I'm like,
but
no.
with the beating of mace, spear, and glaive, well, glaive and sword, those 3 strikes in unison, and a beam of light pours down, and the cosmos open, and a portal forms. And like a shooting star, 2 stars fly out. 3 stars fly out. And swirl. And then come to take shape on the other side of you. As now the ground becomes divided like a fence. And more set up like a courtroom. As the stone and marble changes. With those 3 balls of light starting to take shape, you ask for 2, you are getting 3. Who is the 3rd? We'll find out on break.
I knew it, you bastard! You son of a bitch!
So we'll see you guys here in a little second while we take a short break.
Summoning of the other side.
Hi guys, it's Shy from the D20 Misfits. We actually got a sponsor, and it is with Dubby. Dubby is a powdered supplement, dietary for energy. No crash, no jitters. It's the be the better you with it. I'm a haunter. I work in the kitchen, and of course we do our D20 Misfits, our D&D campaign. With that, I'm a big energy drink user, Monsters, NOS, you name it. With this, it's not as super sweet. It's just right. We also get one of these awesome cups. You can get those in there. There is one, I believe it's green. With that purchase, you can actually plant a tree. So I would recommend go ahead and check out the site, w.com, and webenergy.com. My apologies. And with that, give it a browse, peruse. There's many flavors on there. Use the code D20Misfits10.
a trial begins.
And welcome back. So, as the 3 balls of light form and come out, you do see what was promised, or what you requested. Grievous appears.
Can we get some anti-magic buffs on Grievous stat,
Sat
please?
appears. And that one other ball of light forms. That of a Leonin.
Damn, this music.
In the clerical god armor of the Wild Mother.
Fuck you.
Bones is gonna run over to the group. Okay. And
One.
Just everything Balveris has been through with Rue. Fuck you.
On purpose.
She's uncle.
Bones is gonna run back to the group. Okay.
Squawk!
As they are materializing, you're running. Well, you kind of look to the group as the line is starting to form with the marble to create the courtroom aspect or feel of the room, turning it into. So as both parties are going there, Grievous center stage on that podium, while your side of the podium stays emptied for the time being, with Sat and Rue as character witnesses and witnesses to both sides of the fence. You guys form and start to talk amongst yourselves of who takes the stand and actually starts this as a trial. You go to the party and you're going to sing.
Okay. You went up to the statues.
Mm-hmm.
You went up to the statues.
Yeah.
Where's Oracle? Is he with us or is he somewhere else?
He's on the other side with Grievous.
Is he even gonna be able to hear me?
Hmm?
Okay. And I'm gonna point to him. You went up to the statues. What did you see? Who did you see? Looks at Ryu.
Let's say
Who's
roll
the-
history for this, just to, or let's
Just
go
go.
ahead and start spouting off.
I mean, who did you saw? You
I'll take one.
Didn't
Didn't
I
I
see
see
Rue?
Rue?
Hmm?
Didn't I see Rue?
Mhm.
Parent, loved one, girlfriend,
So,
someone.
so first one points right over or towards where's Bahamut. That's where he saw fit. I go Fizbin, and
Someone hasn't learned that pointing is rude yet.
I saw. Well, it's more like the
Right, you gesture over to Fizbin because he is one of the statues. Because he's the main person that this is targeting on.
and then you hear it's he fumbles it. The others. Sapphire. You just hear him, like, under his breath say Sapphire.
Okay, you.
Cool.
Not pointing at you.
We don't know who that is.
As you see the Leonin pop up, and she points to him.
Anybody else?
My father.
Sap?
You.
That wasn't a statue.
He's in the middle.
No, but he is in the middle.
No,
You.
the people I saw was my father and Rue.
Pointing his arc on. You. Who did you see?
My father and brother.
Okay. Out of all the people that you guys have seen, who is dead?
One of them.
One?
For me.
None?
I believe my brother is.
That I know of, they didn't perish. I know they were captured and put to be, as they rumor when they told me batteries. But
Fizbit.
if that's the case, then Rue was there and he's here. I don't know. I would assume Rue's not dead because he's clearly right here.
So 1, 1, 1. No idea.
Rue has died multiple times. You do know this. He
Yeah.
was brought back before.
But he's not like dead, like completely gone.
No,
at this
he was
moment.
brought
But
back. He did die. He was
I've
brought
heard the
back.
stories of that. Yeah.
Of that arena, yeah.
Okay. So we all have one that's alive. How?
Oh, one of mine is dying. Fizbin.
Fizbin is Bahamut. Bahamut is Fizbin.
Thank you. Because I was very confused.
Bahamut's mortal form is Fizbin the
Okay.
Mage.
Who's currently being sucked like a battery.
So my question for the gods is, how the hell is this shit gonna work? We have one dead person and then another. At least for me, I have one alive person. How is this going to work?
Who else did you see?
Wow.
Don't worry about it.
As she questioned you guys.
Insight.
As
With
she-
advantage because I'm
listen,
confused.
Listen, whoa. Insight versus deception or persuasion. Your pick.
That's 27.
You don't have to say which. But because of that, you did point a finger and try to figure out here what it is. When they turn to you and you're saying, "Don't worry about it," persuasion or deception.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Jail.
Huh?
Where's the 7? Don't worry.
27.
Yeah.
So you know she's holding back.
What are you not telling me?
Hold on. Hold on. Okay. So, at least for me, I have one alive one. But I saw them being, in half. The other one was whole, but she's already dead. The other one,
Ferns-
how
Are you saying the other one and pointing like you just did?
Yeah. That one. Well, actually, it's whoever's, right here to me. 'Cause I
Fern is
went-
in full, Lucy's in two.
Yeah. That's what I mean. The
Just
other
stand
one's
in the side
dead
there, you
and whole, but the other one is in half but alive. How is that gonna work?
I mean, honestly,
You're
that's a
asking this to
valid.
the gods?
That's a valid
Whoever
question.
will answer, yes.
That's a valid question, actually.
Just the.
We'll find out in a minute.
It's not the fact of who is alive and who is dead. It is the simple fact of what they stand for. They are the foundations of what makes the new God. As was stated before. She did mention
Yes.
that in one of the questions that the Raven Queen actually asked you.
Yeah.
Is they are the foundations of the new God. That was before you guys pulled Grievous in and shit like that.
Yeah. Bones is thinking of since
I was thinking about
there's
doing it too.
dead ones
So
already. That one gonna be part of it. So if those ones don't really matter so much, but the live ones is a little questionable because does that mean that they're going to die depending on what it is, or are they just gonna what was it?
yes.
For emotion or whatever.
No.
They're just gonna be
They're gonna get
emotionless?
wiped. They're gonna get wiped from existence.
That's if
Okay.
you destroy
They're
the
gonna-
statues.
No.
Yeah.
That's if you
That's
destroy the
Oh.
statues.
If you destroy this, so the thing was from the Raven Queen, if you guys destroy the statues, you can stop the ritual from even happening. But in doing so, you lose those people from existence, meaning they are wiped from your memories. They no longer
They never
exist.
existed.
If they fuse into Grievous as the foundations, their memories and souls are preserved within him. So they are intact, will turn immortal, but they will be a part of the new god.
So they die to become the new god.
They're not dead.
They're not
alive.
dead.
They're transferred.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
They're dead.
Okay, now answer my question.
Do they exist as their former beings in and of themselves by themselves anymore?
No.
Then they're dead.
No, they're not.
Their souls are in him, or whatever it is.
Yes.
They live on.
They live on through
They
him.
live on, but they're not them.
Bones was just
They
confused
die
because...
to become a new being.
Put this in perspective then. Somebody who grieves their people, a lost one, a lost family member or something like that, they tell stories about it, correct?
Yeah.
So in fact they continue to live on because their stories are being told still. So in retrospect they are still being alive.
Yeah.
Right?
I think I know what you're talking about, above table. So since there's, I don't know it, but I know it, there's a half and a half of Lucy. If he ascends and all that happens, do I I'm not feeling so good, Bones.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
what I
that's
was
what
at.
happens.
That's
Dust
what I was
into the wind.
Yes.
That's what Bones was confused about.
That's what happens.
I understand.
That's why I'm asking if it happens,
But
or do
Bones does
a part of me gone and I'm just not the same Lucy anymore.
That's what
I'm
Bones
asking,
was
and
confused
that's what she
on.
was thinking.
I understand, but Bones was confused about that
Okay.
part. That was the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you are all unwilling sacrifices. You did not consent to this.
Why did you stab me?
Okay.
I felt like it.
With knowing that.
At least it wasn't 37 times in the chest.
That could do some damage. It is rather pointy. It's my good pen.
It's my good pen.
This is my pen pal.
And then, in that, Bones is just gonna, go back for it.
It's
Wait, just
pointy.
No,
Just-
I,
Put her back up and just kind of like,
I picked it. It's fine.
but yeah, that's one.
Excuse me.
So
Question
Can
be
you
all
do-
you want. You ain't getting the
as
answer.
you guys heard that bell tone hit as the trial starts.
Wake up.
Absolute silence fills the air. Grievous standing in the center, not as a prisoner, but of a man who believes he is the only one in the room speaking truth. As Grievous takes the stand. You call me to account. You, who sit in the rafters of the world while it burns. Look at these mortals you claim to guide. As he points to that circle housing people. Lucy's father, Trent. I know, I've completely slurred. Lucy's father, Trent, spent his life looking through a scope waiting for a monster that would take his daughter. Why? Because the gods wouldn't stop the monsters themselves? I am taking Trent's steady hand and making it the aim of the new world. I am not stealing. I am investing. I am taking 12 drops of mortal sorrow and turning them into an ocean of eternal peace. If the math of the universe is broken, I am simply the one who has the courage to fix the equation. Wild Mother. Grievous, you speak of fixing the world, but a forest that does not die is a forest that cannot grow. You have taken Trent, a man who lived by the grit of his gun and the sweat of the trail. And you have turned him into a static pillar. So if you remove the end from the story, if you remove the struggle that made Trent a father worth loving, do you not realize you are creating a world of beautiful hollow glass? Are you saving them? Or are you just taxiderming the universe so it's easier for you to look at? Move you more over here.
She's got a point.
Growth requires pain. I have seen enough growth. I choose stability. I would rather have a world of glass where children don't starve than a natural world where they are hunted in the mud. Palor's light intensifies, threatening to burn away Grievous's very shadow. You claim to bring a new sun, but a sun is a gift given, not a fire stolen. You are hallowing out Bahamut, the very justice you claim to serve. If your new world is built upon a foundation of theft,
Bless you.
Thank you.
how can you ever claim it just? You are using Satori, your own innocence, as the bridge for this crime. If the first act of your godhood is a betrayal of your own soul, what light can you possibly shed that isn't poisoned? Justice is a luxury for the safe, Palor. I am performing a surgery. It is bloody, yes. Is it a theft? If you must use the word of a merchant. But when the patient, the world, wakes up without the corruption, they will not care where the medicine came from. The Raven Queen, her crystal silver eyes stare fixed towards Grievous, and you can feel the chilling recognition. I see what you are trying to do. You are trying to outrun me. You are trying to build a cage where no one ever has to cross my veil. If you use Sarah, a girl you saved from the ruins, as your shield, you have taught her that your life is the only thing that matters. So tell me, Grievous, if the math required you to sacrifice Sarah to complete this ritual, would you let her die in the dark so the world could see the light? Would you do it? Or is your logic only for the lives of others? Sarah is proof that my way works. Yes, he does stutter and hesitate. I saved her when you would have taken her. I will not lose her to your fate again. My logic is for the survival of all, and she is the heart of that all. Torm steps forward, his white and gold armor ringing. You speak of Sarah as your heart, yet you send her to die against your friends, against her friends. You speak of Trent as a soldier, yet you keep him from the fight. You have brought these mortals here to judge you. If they the very people you claim to be saving, look you in the eye and say no, will you stop? If the field rejects the farmer, do you have the honor to lay down your scythe? Or is this not about the world at all, but a man who is too afraid to be immortal? Grievous turns and looks to the party. They don't know what's best for them. They are children playing in a burning house, crying because I'm trying to carry them out the door. My answer is no. I will not stop. I am the only one in this room with the spine to do what is necessary. The gods turn towards you guys. Wild Mother looks to you. He has stated his truth. You must state yours. Belverix, you are a paragon of law. Lucy, you are the daughter of this gunslinger. Zarkon, you are the philosopher of the price. If this man a savior, or is he just the final, greatest monster the world has ever produced? Speak now, for your words will be the boons or the curses you carry into the scar.
And this isn't... I would think of think of Grievous as himself. Not as, like, all of the crap that comes with it. Think of him, like, what did he specifically do that would brand him a monster? Whether it was ordering someone else to do something for him. If he was the one that gave the orders, he's the one that carries that burden. If he's the one that has physically been torturing people, he carries that burden. What makes him the monster that we think he is?
I know, and me,
You're like, this man tortured me. No.
No, like, okay, so, funny enough, because my brain drawing a blank, it's because she has been, like I said, she was piecing things together because what they were originally saying. And she's like, okay, this makes sense. I understand. I may not like all of it, but I do understand. And then hearing everybody else talk, more pieces are getting put together. And then now is him being there, him saying his words, and them saying their words. She is literally static. She is... Her gasps have been flabbered.
Ah.
She's just like... For once, she doesn't know what to say. Like, truly doesn't. She's like...
So, I'm actually going to go over to you and kind of hold your hand. Evil has the ability to rationalize itself. It is always hard to say no when it has an understandable face. Think not of what you've learned of him. Think of what you have experienced through him.
As you guys are discussing this before one of you take the stand, one beats you to it. Zarkon.
I thought he was on the other side.
No.
Did he just push him out of the way?
He's not. He doesn't take this. He stands beside him.
Mm-hmm.
Not on the stand, but beside him. I spent my life counting, Grievous. I have counted the bodies in the streets when the gods were silent. I have counted the years I've spent trying to find a reason why I survived when better men didn't. You told me that if we could just find the right variable, the right power, we could make the sum of human suffering equal 0. I wanted to believe you. I do believe you. The logic is flawless. 12 souls to buy 1 billion lives? It's a bargain. It's a miracle. You say you're saving Sarah. You say you're saving me. But look at us. Sarah is an engine of death, weeping because she has to kill the only family she has left to prove your point. And me? I'm standing in the celestial court, arguing for the right to be a puppet in your perfect world. You aren't ending the pain, Grievous. You are just monopolizing it. You're becoming the only one allowed to decide who lives and who becomes a battery. If I support you, I am not a philosopher of the greater good. I am just a man who is too tired to mourn anymore, and too cowardly to admit the world without graves is a world that has stopped living. He looks up directly at Grievous with his hand.
I can hear it humming when it flickers like that.
With his hand on his sword.
Let it do it.
I know my past. I know the cost of things I've lost. And I've realized the only thing worse than losing someone is realizing that they were stolen by someone who claimed it. It was for their own good. Trent's a gunslinger. He knew the risk of the trail. He accepted the price of the gun. You didn't give him a choice. You turned his sacrifice into a resource. That is theft.
And she's hearing Zarkon say the exact opposite of what she expected him to do.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, also at the same time, what he's saying is also making sense now.
He's looking at the logic of things.
Yeah. And honestly, if he was paying attention to when she was talking earlier, he also probably would have seen the logic in what she was saying as well. I mean, like, hey, as someone who's also seen the same thing she's seen, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? But we're also people that think logically instead of emotionally. We're like, there's a logical solution to what you could have did, potentially.
He's not finished. That is a logic from one side. From the other side, you talk about theft. You talk about choice. I remember the world before this. I remember the smell of the rot and the sound of silence when the gods didn't answer, as he did look through Grievous's eyes from the book. You think you're being heroes by saving your father? You're being selfish. You're willing to let a million daughters lose their fathers tomorrow, just so you can have yours back today. I've looked at my past. I looked at every failure, every grave, and I realized the sentient is a slow poison. Sediment, sorry. Grievous is only offering a cure. If the price of a world without pain is the souls of 12 good people, then that is a bargain I will sign in blood. I am not a coward, Raven Queen. I am a realist. I am choosing the sun over the shadow. The gods' reaction to this, as you guys clearly can see. Most of you have really good insights on this. So, all above a 10 to know because you're in there looking at this.
Mm-hmm.
Raven Queen. And you have chosen your fate, Sarkon. You will be the architect of a world that has no need of a soul. May you enjoy the silence you built. Torm turns his back. There is no honor and peace brought with shackles. But you have stated your law, now defend it. So this is your round of questions, and you guys can respond and figure out how you want to play it. So, I will start with the questioning with you guys from your own perspective. Sorry, I'm brief going through. Okay. So, with that in mind, you never really answered that question. So, as a paladin of justice, does your oath belong to the dragon, or does it belong to the office, the throne? If Grievous proves he is more capable of enforcing the law than Bahamut, then by your own code, is he a legitimate successor? Why is the tradition more just than the competence? Give us the legal basis for your rebellion against a more efficient God.
At this point in time, I don't think my oath is to either. And I do not mean that as heresy or the ideology of an oath breaker. I have communed with many of you. As you said, I am a paragon. Fate has a funny way of doing things like that to someone. So no, it's not to the dragon or to the throne. I would say it's to each and every one of you and what you represent in an entirety. Each one of you has a hand in the other's domains. That's where balance is it not? You ask us if we see a monster before you, before us. No, I don't. I see someone who is broken by the world around him. And using 12 good souls when his other half stands there before him is a void he is trying to fill. He is trying to make himself whole again. I feel that a world should never forget a name. No matter how dark of an imprint it may have on the pages of history. Because somebody somewhere can learn from that to do better. This whole ordeal has opened my eyes that you aren't the perfect beings as we imagined. We represent you, and in turn, you represent us. So perhaps my oath isn't to just all of you, but to the universe itself.
So you speak of choice, Paladin, a bold claim for a creature of dust. But you are right. Grievous does not seek to lead. He seeks to automate the soul. He seeks to replace my silence with a scream that never ends. If you are the heart that still beats in my name, then I shall be the law that shields it. I will not descend to the scar that is your trial. But I may grant you authority to break this false crown. But you speak of universe and law. Feels like you've given up that oath.
I think a better oath of redemption would be at hand.
Redemption how? What are you trying to redeem?
I'll look directly at Grievous. For so long in my heart it burned. Burned to swing my blade against you. To beat you down like you beat me. But that is so unbecoming of someone who's called himself a knight for so long. I have lashed out in anger. Satori can attest to that. So for every act of violence you have committed against me, I forgive you. I forgive you for every blow, every beating, every drop of blood you spilt of mine. Because you are not whole.
And how am I not whole?
How can there be two of you?
Well, that is not my doing, is it?
Wasn't my doing either.
Did you not plead to Bahamut's help with all that blood I spilled of yours?
I did.
Did I not take shape and make him?
Not by my hand.
No, but by your prayer. And he answered. This could have all been avoided if you would have answered mine, but he answered yours, so he cast me aside. That is a threat. That is not protecting the innocent. When I championed and rose up to strike that fiend down, that was the order I was given. So I plead for our Father's help to get this. To create
I did not
The
plead
other
for him
coin.
to create.
Well, how else did it manifest? What did you say to the god?
I asked to end this.
To end what? Your suffering? To end me?
The pain, yes.
Your pain? And you brought my younger version of myself? The one who stayed true to Bahamut's path? Before everything happened? If he read the book, he has my knowledge. He knows what happened. So why does it matter? Your suffering's still here, you're still here. Are you not?
That is it. But through all this, I've realized you and I have walked parallels. In shapes and forms, you forcibly lost your home. Twice. I willingly gave mine up. You buried your party. Mine left me, and therefore they are dead to me as well. So yes, there's a younger self there, but you and I are the two sides of the same coin. Opposite facets.
And Satori's fruition wasn't his doing.
But he played a hand in it.
But the one who directly called to find the other better half of me was not him. It was me.
Bahamut leans forward. You stand before me, Belvires, clad in my colors and breathing my tenets. You have reached the summit. There is no more power I can grant you. And there is no mortal foe you cannot crush. You are, for all intent and purposes, a god who still bleeds. But truly look at me. I have been silent while the corruption tore at the roots of your world. I was silent when Satori the boy became the battery. Cried out for a sign that his faith wasn't a waste of life. Grievous is right about one thing. My silence is a wound. Grievous has taken the good I ignored and turned it into a fire I refuse to light. He offers the world where the dragon never sleeps and the law is never silent. He offers to turn your mentors, and he highlights the two. Before you now, you can truly see Sir Liam, the voice of the still tower, and Rue, the warden of the last roar. They are going to turn these two into a permanent shining wall against the dark. So if I'm a god who has failed to protect Satori And Grievous is a man who will use Satori to protect everyone else. Why are you fighting for me? Is it out of habit? It is out of blind stubbornness to keep the old status quo? If you were to strike down Grievous, are you choosing to return to a world of silence? Or are you choosing a god who didn't show up? Prove that my silence is more than just Grievous's noise. Why should the world have suffered my neglect just so you can keep your honorable conscience clean?
But my conscience isn't clean.
How so?
Knowing what my father did to me and exiling him, I could have forgiven him. At the height of the conversation, I slipped 3 cards from the deck of many things against better judgment. I have vowed to slaughter those who are just going about their business. Because I didn't agree with what they did. Your silence, High Platinum, is a testament to steadying one's hand, tempering of the blade. As I have said prior, going to you gods for every little thing, and if you answered them, would not make us better individuals. Would make us too reliant, too complacent, too needy. And in my eyes, that is the ultimate greed of a dragon. Wanting more help, and more, and more.
I would ask for you to make me a roll. Persuasion. You have advantage on this. Speaking to the tenants and using it to bring just in these words. Your role depends on Bahamut's favor or curse.
$17 plus 9.
Okay.
25. 26.
Yeah, it was a 26.
26.
Can't believe I got that before you did. That's surprising.
I've also been up since 6 this morning. I'm getting tired.
You're good. I've also just been doing math relatively better at work, so I think I've just been at work too much.
I've been doing algebra.
You've been doing letters when you're supposed to be doing numbers. This ain't algebra.
You are a magnificent weapon, Belvarix, but a weapon needs a hand to wield it. If you choose to fight for a ghost, do not be surprised when the ghost provides no shield. You will feel the weight of this, for I cannot interject. Zarkon looks at you. Don't you see, Belverix? You're arguing for the right to be ignored. You want to save Satori, do you not? You want to... Satori is the only thing that is actually working. He's finally doing something more than praying to a ceiling that doesn't answer. Let him be the god we were too afraid to become. So mechanically, you did not sway him. So you suffer the curse. You were 2 points off. With your testimony, based off whatever, because I have different sections depending on how you do it. Either it lowers the roll, or can give you advantage on it. You lowered it and gave advantage on it. DC was 30.
Oh, there's no way I'd be able to.
You were close. You hit 27, dude.
Yeah,
But the max I can roll is a 29.
Yeah, but a nat 20 would have sealed it.
yeah, but that's like,
It's
wait,
still-
I have to hit
You
a crit.
okay, you also got to remember this is 11. This is a level 20 character. You could have used guidance or shit like that. You did have a favor.
I don't have.
You did have the favor of the gods, which is a D4 of bless. You could have had that.
I have that?
You asked for it, remember?
No, that's.
Favored of the gods, you being around with all the gods, and we talked about a permanent bless bump.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
So
roll that D4 and see what would have happened.
Silvery barbs.
Was it a 4?
Yeah.
So you would have won and got a favor. I keep my notes, bro.
You know what? Oh, that's. I had it in my notes.
rip.
So, mechanically speaking, your auras, as you feel the weight of a god's apathy, your channel divinity and your auras will be shut off for the first 3 rounds of battle. For the final fight of Grievous.
Which honestly is not horrible.
His auras and any use of his channel divinities
Yeah.
are silenced for 3 turns as the
Rip.
weight of the dragon is on you. The weight of the tenants.
Do you want me to change my oath?
If you are speaking of, so far you said about redemption.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being stated,
Well, someone's already kind of put an oath of redemption on him, and then that got changed.
if you are going that route, then what is the oath you are redeeming? What is the redemption you are trying to get as you... This is whether or not you are speaking the oath now as your response versus that.
You're gonna have to give me time to think on that, if you don't mind. Did it die?
It was on charge. It was full. I just unplugged it.
Rip.
So yeah, that
You
would be
gave
the
up
only
so quick.
that would be the only
Okay.
thing. So like if you were speaking, an oath of redemption, is what would you be redeeming?
Yeah. I'll look at all the oaths to see which one would best actually fit this, if you don't mind.
Yeah. My only suggestion is that you do not use the oath to choose based on what they can do.
No, I'm going to actually look at what they represent instead.
That would be my own thing. If what is like, that's the only thing. Like, if you talk about redemption, you're talking about the forgiveness of Grievous, and saying that you forgive him of everything that transpired between you two. What would be the redeeming aspect is the question. For you to speak that oath, to do so. So as you're contemplating on that, we can do one more side of questioning to a character. Whoever wants to, cool. If not, I can roll. If not, we can just continue that for next week.
Okay.
You want to? Okay.
Are you getting a whole separate question, or are you answering the question that was asked to you? Okay, because she never answered the question he gave her the last time. Well, because he specified you, Zarkon, and him, and you never responded.
I mean, that is a thing. But these are the gods' individual questions towards each other. Towards their people.
You couldn't fuck me,
So, the wild mother to Lucy. Lucy, you are a curious creature. You walk with the swagger of a woman who believes she's carved her own path out of lead and grease of your garments. You think you are independent. You think every breath you've taken in the muck of the world was earned by your own grit. But I've heard the soil scream when you should have died. I felt the wind shift to push a killing arrow 3 inches to the left. You didn't do that, little sprout. Trent did. Your father knelt in the dirt until his knees bled. He didn't ask for wealth. He asked me to be the ground that didn't give way beneath you. He offered me the heat of his blood so you never feel the winter. To me, that is a contract of survival, and I accept it. Now Grievous comes with a higher purpose. He said, why use this magnificent devotion to save one girl, when it could be the nectar that feeds a starving world? He wants to take your father's sacrifice and scale it. He wants to turn one man's love into a permanent spring for everyone. So if you are here to rescue him, and by rescuing him, you are stealing the harvest, are you going to tell me, the world, that it must stay cold and hungry so you can have your father back? If your father's soul is the only thing that can stop the rot, why is your comfort more important than the survival of the forest? Prove to me that your love for him is anything more than a parasite's hunger for its host. Yeah, these are dark questions, guys.
I was gonna say, shit.
You ask of my father's sacrifice. If I would not slap him in the face for what he has done for me, even within my own ignorance of it being done. He protected me as a father would any child, would protect their own. Knowing that now is sad and bitter, but I understand. It fills me with more light that my father would do such a thing for me, but at the same time, to know that that luck was from prayers. It was inorganic. Would I, so to speak, wither a harvest? Would I be greedy and keep that to myself and not have others protected and shielded? No. I believe everyone deserves protection. Everyone deserves safety. I don't think a multitude should suffer while one or a few are safe. That's just downright cruel. I've been taught to calculate, to think through, to not let my emotions take control of me. And I have done the opposite so many times. And all it has done was hamper me and made things go wrong. It made things... How do I put it? It's ravaged things. Where things could have gone better. I can't fix that now. I can't go back and rewind time. I know that. I'm learning, and there's so much that I've yet to have been taught. But I'm trying to better myself in what my uncle has taught me, what my father has taught me, what Satori has tried to teach me on a better path. Whether it seems in the now that is bad or it is good, I would not destroy the crops. There's no good from that. I believe that perhaps there is change needed. I've been thinking, recollecting, piecing together ever since I got here. Even before I got here, seeing everything that's happened as if it is meant to happen. I've been given thoughts. I've seen visions of things to come. And all it has done is slowly... It's like a giant puzzle. Pieces that I don't even know where they've went, and now it seems like they are being put together with clarity. Little by little, whether it angers some and others understand. That is not for me to have them do. For my own clarity, my own recollection, I believe that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. That is what I was taught. That is what I'm understanding more and more. My father has sacrificed for me a great deal that I as I've said, I had no idea. I am grateful to have a father like that. But I would also not take away for those to be given that chance. I could not be that cruel. Even if I wish to have my father back. Anybody would wish that for themselves. They wish to have what they miss. But sometimes we can't have what we want if it's for the greater good. That is why they are called sacrifices. Sometimes a sacrifice is needed if that is for things to be better. And she's like visibly like shaking, and her voice is wavering.
Above table though, would his prayers really be warranted if Grievous hadn't been the one trying to come after you? Like, the only reason why you needed protection in the first place was because people were trying to get to you. People were trying to manipulate you and abuse you, which is why you were on the run, why you didn't get to stay with your family in the first place. So, I was like,
I know.
Too bad you didn't say that in game.
I was getting to that. Now I kind of can't, because now I feel like that would be metagaming, so never mind.
well, that was...
I know, but I feel like if you say that, I'm like, that's a great idea. I'm going to talk about that. And then he said that. That's a great idea. And I kind of can't say that now. When to be honest, and I'm not going to lie, before he sparked off, I was going to step forward in the podium. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I can't be like, shut up for a second, I'm doing this. I can, but at the same time, he already shifted gears on that, so I'm like, okay, I'll wait. And then they're like, alright, let's spark off with the questions. Okay, I waited. Yes, I was
it's
gonna
not
say...
metagaming if you were already thinking it.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but now with him and what he says, I believe in above table, I feel that is metagaming. I now know, shoulda said that. Kinda can't say that now. I can't. That is partially metagaming. I cannot physically say that, especially after a DM says something. I kinda can't. I feel like that is partially, not fully, partially metagaming. I cannot do that.
Like, if you had said that in game, Grievous does not know that she was tortured. Because Grievous never tortured her. He wanted her. For what reason, it still remains unknown.
She knows. She wants to say that so bad. And, you know, even with the Raven Queen, when we were in her realm, she mentioned stuff like that. But didn't fully say it. She was in such an anger. She's like lashed out. Mm-hmm. And then that's why she was saying this. Then what she was going to get to is, yes, I've been through this. I know why the boons were given to me.
Mm-hmm.
But me as a player, I feel like I kind of can't say that when things are accidentally given to me. It almost feels like it's a spoon given to me, like, here's the next thing you could have talked about. Personally, I cannot say that now because it feels a spoonful of metagaming. Not a full spoon of it, not full tilt, but it is a partial metagaming.
Well, the thing is also, the whole thing is about speaking your truth. That's part of your truth.
That's why you gotta.
Can I ask a question of
Her
you?
truth.
My truth, yes. That's why I'm getting to what I'm getting to, and I wasn't
It
telling.
was her goddess, the one that was not. It's not so much her goddess; it was the one that was pleaded to protect because Trent followed the Wild Mother, same as Rue.
That's why I said I'm.
Real quick, I'm sorry. Because it's getting time. I want to ask Grievous a question. Is that allowed?
We might have to take.
Nope.
I would hold that question.
I'm going to forget it.
Write it down.
Put your phone notes.
Write it down or text it to me.
The camera
and I
got
can
that.
text you back.
But no, that's why I say whenever things happen, just hang tight
Okay.
until something's done. Because like I said, now I kind of can't say that.
Sorry, it sounded like you were.
Like if you just said that in game as you were like you're nudging her, trying to be like that character witness,
Yeah.
that would have been totally different.
But just you
Because
saying
that
that,
would
you
set
could
him
have
pit-
still nudged
That would have put
but
Grievous
then-
to the pissed off mode of who the fuck did it. Now I'm gonna go and kill their ass because the only person he took was Lucy's dad because Grievous doesn't have a dad. He had a surrogate father, kind of like how you do, who took him in against all odds, knowing that this could hurt him, could hurt the elder because he's taking an outcast in the
But
pure
people-
Elven world.
even further, she ends up having to. She already made a deal with Grievous. It's not like she wasn't going to tell him and be pissed off anyway. And whether he knew that or not, I don't even know if I can now say that.
Player chat.
Eventually, we'll see how that goes. But I kind of have to now leave just those as my words. It's a game lesson. We now know. Just hang tight. If you ever have anything to say, you can speak up as a character too.
Yeah.
Because you were like, well, what about this? Why this? Why aren't you angry at him? Blah, blah, blah. Well, we kind of now heard both sides, so now that kind of has to stay in the back burner for a while. But it's fine. Now I have to see what Melora says too, and how she feels about what I said.
Yeah, that would be like if you just said that in game and didn't go above table and nudge that to her, to say that to her, and because you guys are close, Grievous would have heard that passively.
Because he has a super high passive moves.
And he would have went ape shit.
He would want Hades like, what?
Because,
Yeah.
like I said, like he only took Trent because of the father figure of what his devotion was to protect his daughter. So, he never had that devotion. He did similar to it. That's why, like, when he took Trent, he took that father's protection like his dad did. Like his surrogate dad protected him. He wants Lucy out of the world and next to him so he can be what Trent was, a shield to her alone, because she's having the same, her dad was there. I want to instill that. And if I can instill that to her by being her shield, then no harm would come to her.
That's above table. No character knows that.
Well, I mean, also, realistically, that's a little weird. Because if he wanted to protect Lucy, but also, like, have her as his queen, if he uses her in the Ascension right, that negates that.
That's kind of, we don't have to, we're not to think about that yet. So let's, no more above table talk. Let's get to Melora.
Okay.
Before anything else accidentally gets
I'm
said.
just like, sorry.
Yeah, we're getting close to 2, so.
Sorry. Back to this.
That would be the only thing, because like I said, that it's not that, it's more of the ward. Kind of like Sweeney Todd with that high-end guy who had his daughter, I believe it was. In Sweeney Todd, that ward.
I don't remember.
Think.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Okay.
And that young boy who wanted to take her away.
Uh-huh.
And he wouldn't have killed him if he didn't find out that that's who it was, that he stole his kid.
Mm.
And that's why he slit that high-end dude's throat.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, Zarkon. Think about what you're saying. Your father gave everything so you could be safe. If you're using that safety to kill a man trying to save the world, you're spitting on his trade. If you're making his life worth nothing, let him be the hero he always wanted to be. Let him be the god of the forge.
Wait.
I know what I'm saying. I get what is going on right now. Scratch that. Don't.
I was
Nothing.
like, wait a minute.
You're like, wait a minute, Laura was asking me a question. What the hell's
I
going
was
on
agreeing.
now?
I was like, wait a minute.
I know.
What?
I totally that fucked my mind up. So don't worry. Scratch that whole fucking what Zarkon said.
Rewind.
Yeah, it means nothing. So what I'm going to task you is, with the response that you gave, depends on the role you make. If you're speaking true from the heart, then you're going to use insight. If you're trying to use your words to to sway the masses because of your speaking from the knowledge of this. You're using your mind more than your heart. That's what I'm asking you. If you're going to use your mind more, you're going to use persuasion. If you're using your heart and speaking from the heart with those words, then that is with insight.
It's more of the heart, and it's like she's using the mind and the heart, but if she's using more, is she's speaking from her heart.
Okay, then that would be an insight.
That is a 17 plus 10.
27.
Okay. So small, pale flowers grow from vines around you. The wild mother sighs, a sound like a wind through a cavern or canyon. You speak with the spirit of the heart. Perhaps you are right. A fruit forced from a branch before its time is always bitter. If you wish to protect the branch, I will give you the thorns to do so. Fate has spoken. The thorns grow from inside to out as cleats are on your foot. Meaning mechanically, when the ritual goes off, you are gifted free movement, meaning no difficult terrain will hurt you. That's just to let y'all know.
Nice.
In the final fight, when it goes off, it's counted as difficult terrain within the environment. Within the ritual, because the magical force is happening. It's counted as difficult terrain. She, right now, is the only one who can bypass that and walk normally.
It's like, she lets out a breath. She didn't even know she was holding her breath, because she is speaking from the heart, but it's like I said, there's been so much, what's the word for it? Not turbulence, it's turmoil. Yeah, so much like confliction, turmoil and all this. And with her trying to write things in her mind, as I said, with her listening to everything going on and not just focusing from past to now and trying to piece everything logically and just understand. That's again why she's been very quiet. She's been trying to like calculate and piece everything together in the right place as it's becoming more clear. And she's become more clairvoyant with it and understanding. Whether sometimes she's been told before that whether something is good or bad does not mean that it's actually inherently good or bad. A bad thing could have been a good thing. It could have been a blessing in disguise. A good thing could actually be a bad thing. But with her slowly trying to put it all together, that's when she spoke her heart.
Those thorns are not always cleats. You can use it if you want to. And they can be the driving force behind each bullet. So it's called the rooted prayer. Additionally, your firearms will now deal an extra 1d8 poison or force, your choice, as the earth itself lends its lethality to your shots. And you have the freedom of movement by your class. So you can choose to forego and route the prayer from feet to shots. But you can't have both. So you can sacrifice the, difficult terrain to deal an extra 1d8 or 1d8 poison or force, your choice, as you call upon the earth to give you its lethality towards your shots. For you have gained the Wild Mother's boon and not curse. For you have swayed her.
Yay!
Based on your talk, you lowered it from a 30 to a 25. So both you and Bilverus were deadly close.
Yeah, he'd have been fine if he'd remembered that D4.
See, I remember shit, and you guys have consequences to your actions. You know this. Because that's how the world is shaped. But yes.
Ow.
So one boon and one curse. What can the rest of the party do? What is the fates? Let us know down in the comments what you think. Would Bones get a boon or a curse? Would Ryu gain the favors of either Aaron Stormdrum or Bahamut and gain a boon or a curse? Would Amari's light shine as bright as Pelor or be diminished into shadow? Tune in next week as we find out. But from us, the D20 Misfits.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Night.